Okay, I'm going to do a microbiome update and how that's all going, kind of where we're at with that. And I'm going to do a recap just so you can understand like the process of where I am to what I am today. So I started taking Bactrix Candida in November. The 11th of November, to be specific, is when I started taking the Bactrix. I took it for 2 weeks and then I switched over to the Candida. And then I started the Femibiotic, which I think is a probiotic for the vaginal microbiome, until that was gone. Also did my first round of vaginal capsules, which is the Presame. I'll also put it on screen. And so on the 9th of December, I stopped taking everything because I had my sinus surgery on the 16th of December, and you have to stop everything for that surgery. And I stopped everything for 2 weeks because I had to do the surgery, obviously, and then I had to recover from surgery, and it was just a lot for my body, so I stopped everything. I was also taking black walnut liquid within the period of November to December somewhere. I think it was about 3 weeks to 4 weeks in of the antifungals, so the first 2 products that I talked about. And then I started taking black walnut alongside those other products. But I also stopped taking that as well. Then the 29th of December is when I started my antifungals back up. So I started the Bactrix and Candida again. And on the 8th of January, I started taking the black walnut again. And I took that until I ran out. And then I went back to the naturopath. I said, can I get more of these things so that I can, double dose it down? Because I didn't feel like I had enough time between November and December to do what I needed to do. And then I had the 2 weeks break. And then I felt like I needed more of a, So I went back to her. I said, can I get some more? I collected some more antifungals. She gave me a vaginal balance instead of the Femibiotic, so it's a different vaginal probiotic, I believe. And then I did another round of Presame, the vaginal capsules, because the first time round I did the vaginal capsules, they've got 10 capsules. So you do 10 capsules per round, I suppose, per packet. And so I did 9 because one was broken and it was like not usable. So I was like, oh, I'll tell her that. And she's said that I could do another one just to make sure that I get the full effect of it. So I did another one. So I originally contacted her on the 14th of January. So then after all that, after I started taking the medicine again and, doing all that, I was like, cool, I'm just within the flow. I've got my diet going. I've got these pills, whatever. And then I went back to her on the 9th of February because I ran out of everything again. So I was like, I'll just go ask her for more. And then I'll ask her what I should be doing with my diet. Should I be changing it any kind of way? Because I have been doing this diet since November. And it was February, and I was like, what am I doing? Do I change it? Do I do whatever? What do I do? Because I was having no sugar, that included added sugar, natural sugar, sweeteners. Literally, I was having no potatoes because they have natural sugar when they are cooked or whatever. I was having very minuscule, and I was like, this is hard. So I was like, can I eat potatoes again? Can I eat strawberries or whatever, She said I could start eating more things like root vegetables, fruits, and low in sugar. So strawberries are fine, blueberries, things like that. So basically natural sugars and some sweeteners, no gluten, obviously, because I'm still doing that, and no processed food, but all whole foods. So basically stick to the diet that I'm on, but I can be a bit more lenient to what I'm eating, which is cool. And then she suggested I do another round of the vaginal capsules just to fully shebang it and get it cleared out. So I ended up doing the Presame again, finished on the 25th of February, but my symptoms got so much worse after that round, and I think that is what made it worse and what caballed it. So it literally depleted my vaginal microbiome. It depleted all the nutrients, it depleted all the bad bacteria. It got everything out, but it needs the good bacteria back, and it needs to heal and regenerate, if that makes sense. So I stopped taking the Bactrix, I stopped taking all the antifungals, I stopped the vaginal capsules, I stopped literally everything, and I brought in Gut Regular Be Pure, and I take this every day nightly because I suggested this to the naturopath, and she's like, yes, that sounds really good, that's what you need. But she said if you do get bloated, that we do take the multi-enzymes with it, which I haven't been doing, but I have been getting bloated, but I've just gone with it. But I don't know when I started taking this, but it was a little bit after the 25th. So I think probably around the 25th of February I started taking this. And then on the 4th of March, I started taking Microflora Probiotic, which has basically got, if not all, most of the good bacteria that I need in my microbiome. So that is going to help me get those good bacteria back and then heal my microbiome. So to recap, I had very low, whatever this word is, because I can't pronounce that. My microbiome was struggling with that, and I think I made it extremely depleted with taking all the antifungals, with all the vaginal capsules, with all of the products. It needs to rebuild itself back now, and I'm hoping that this will help me rebuild it along with the gut one as well. And I'm hoping that it will help rebuild what I depleted, basically. It takes a long time to recover from what I've researched. So according to what I've researched, within the first week or two, so what I'm currently in, I'm week 2, it is the worst part of recovery. So you get irritation, you get discharge changes, you feel worse, which is what I do. my microbiome is really unstable because it's trying to build that good bacteria back up. It's trying to rebuild its own lining. It's trying to get to a better place than it is. So the first 2 weeks is brutal, which next week I'll be going into week 3, which thank goodness. But week 3 and week 4 is a little bit more manageable from my understanding. The pH begins to settle, you get less irritation, your discharge becomes more consistent, and the probiotics start working more, or they start colonizing, so they make more of each other, which then create a better bacteria field. I don't know. So that's week 3 and 4, and then week 5 and 8, your symptoms reduce, smell stabilizes, everything becomes less triggering, and this, obviously, the one that I'm missing, the one that starts with L, I'll put on the screen, increasing, so it becomes a better field for it to be in. Then week 8 to 12, so the strains, they start to dominate and they start to increase, and they basically stabilize the environment a lot more, and then they become a better environment for you. So I should be at a better stage at that point. And I think this is going to be my holy grail for that recovery. And this alongside too will help with that. So that is my microbiome journey at this current point. So I am still feeling a bit rough. I can't do that much exercise at the moment because it is just not liking me. I get abdominal pain and then it's just sending me out. So I am taking it slow, but I will update you when I am a little bit further on into my recovery. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. But in the meantime, thanks for watching.